Nation's capital, giving you a live look here at the White House, Washington, D.C., where the Trump administration is blurring the line of who is in charge of federal agencies. From working on baby toys to commercial airplanes and unfair business practices, the Consumer Product Safety Commission is aimed at keeping you safe from harmful or defective items. You may be used to hearing news about the agency issuing product recalls. Just last week, for example, the agency issued a recall for nearly 3 million electric motors for attic fans. That's because the agency says the motor safety cutoff for the fans could short circuit and cause a fire. For 90 years, a court decision that limits the president on who they can fire from these agencies has held strong. But tonight, our Carice Jackman explains why that history is now in question.
I didn't choose to enter the world of product safety. It chose me.
A loving father, Brett Horn, remembers a moment that changed his life forever.
Unfortunately, my 2.5-year-old son, Charlie, passed away when a dresser, only 30 inches high, tipped over on him and took his young life. Then I found out that there was a bigger problem. Dressers were tipping over and killing lots of children, hundreds as a matter of fact.
He turned his pain into advocacy, opening Charlie's House for safety training and helping create the Sturdy Act, working with regulators and the industry to ensure dressers are more safely designed. And while Horn supports the Trump administration's goals of smaller government, he firmly believes strong consumer product safety should continue to be a federal priority.
As a conservatively minded individual, I absolutely agree with the executive branch's efforts to cut costs with the federal government right now. However, I don't feel that product safety is the place we need to do that. Americans' safety should come first.
Since 1972, Congress gave that authority to the Consumer Product Safety Commission. This year, President Trump fired 3 Democratic commissioners.
Everything is under the thumb of the president, and that is subject to wild swings every 4 years.
Since January, the White House has removed Democratic members of at least 10 agencies, according to an analysis of news reports and press releases. Many have fought back in court. Richard Trumka Jr. is one of them and says right now, with only 2 Republican commissioners, there's no effective oversight. Proposed safety rules for products such as button batteries, water beads, and infant neck pillows are all on the Federal Register, but Trumka says they're not moving forward now.
They're using this power to turn their backs on American consumers and on your safety, and people are going to die as a result.
If the commission wants to restrict the way a company does business, we think that the agency should have to prove its case in a court of law.
Oliver Dunford with the Pacific Legal Foundation has represented an Oklahoma company that created an infant lounger and has had their own legal battle with the CPSC, which the company won. The law firm applauded the Supreme Court's decision to allow the White House to fire 3 commissioners, saying independent agencies like the CPSC have been allowed to operate free from constitutional constraints.
If you're a commissioner, your inherent bias is, I'm gonna try to expand my power.
Don Mays, a product safety expert who works with manufacturers, believes reputable companies do want regulation and oversight from the CPSC.
If we don't have a strong CPSC, what we find is that we get violative products that are crossing our borders and are competing with those manufacturers that want to make good products.
Investigate TV analyzed all notices the CPSC has issued in the past 16 years for consumer product law violations. 95% of those violations were for overseas products. But the Trump administration has signaled a possible plan to fold CPSC into the Department of Health and Human Services, a move sparking controversy.
The CPSC is one of those small agencies that nobody knows about until and unless you have a personal tragedy or a product injury. It's vital to consumers.
A story to watch. Carice Jackman reporting tonight.